In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to build an email newsletter with React using Mailchimp API integration. We'll start inside Mailchimp because that's where your subscriber list will live. First, create a Mailchimp account if you don't already have one and set up an audience. The audience is simply the list where all of your newsletter subscribers will be stored, so this is the foundation of the whole setup. Next, log into Mailchimp and go to Account and Billing, then open Extras and API Keys. From there, create a new API key and keep it saved somewhere secure for later. You'll also need your audience ID, which you can find by opening Audience, clicking Settings, and then selecting Audience Name and Defaults. Copy that ID as well, because your backend will need it to know exactly where to send new subscribers. Now switch over to your development environment and create a new React app in the terminal. Run npx create React app newsletter app, then change into the project folder with cd newsletter app and start the app with npm start. Once your project is running, create a simple newsletter sign-up form in React. At minimum, this form should collect a name and an email address along with the submit button. Keep the interface clean and easy to use. At this point, it's very important to understand that you should never expose your Mailchimp API key in your React frontend. Instead, set up a backend server that will communicate with Mailchimp securely. You can do this with Node.js and Express, or use serverless functions or API routes depending on your stack. To prepare the backend, install the required packages with npm, install Express Axios cores, .env. Then create a .env file to store your Mailchimp API key, your audience ID, and your server prefix securely. This keeps your credentials out of your front-end code and makes your project safer. After that, create an API endpoint in your backend. This endpoint should receive subscriber data from React, send that data to Mailchimp through the API, and return either a success message or an error message. Once the endpoint is ready, connect your React form to it using Fetch or Axios so that when someone submits the form, the data is passed to your backend. Be sure to handle user feedback clearly. Show messages like, "Thanks for subscribing. This email is already subscribed," or "Please enter a valid email address." That makes the form feel polished and helps users understand what happened. Then test everything by running both the React frontend and the backend server. Submit a test email and confirm that the subscriber appears in your Mailchimp audience. If you want better compliance and cleaner list quality, you can also enable double opt-in in your audience settings. Finally, style your form so it looks good on desktop and mobile, deploy your front-end and back-end to your preferred hosting platforms, and use Mailchimp Analytics to monitor subscriber growth